Hello, welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. We have 3 stories for you today. Big box hardware store. Forced to do homework over and over until perfect? Trash. And get your priorities straight. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Alright, let's get started. Our first story. Big box hardware store. So, I think this fall into this category, but it all started with me purchasing a lawn mower at a big box hardware store. In the interest of keeping them anonymous, let's just call them Rob Lowe, or Lowe's for short. I walked in one day looking to finally purchase a new mower, and I was in luck as they had a smoking deal on a display model. I wasn't prepared to be going home with a new mower that day, so I didn't bring my truck. So, I simply asked if I could set it aside and come back in a little bit with my truck. I returned maybe 30 minutes later, picked up my mower, and headed home. This should be the end of the story, but weirdly, it isn't. Fast forward about 2 weeks later, and I get a call from Lowe's informing me that my mower is ready for pickup. Confused, I replied, "Pardon me?" So they reminded me that I ordered a mower about 2 weeks ago, and it just arrived and is awaiting pickup. Now, I know most would have seized the opportunity right there, but I decided to be a good person, and I explained to the employee that no, I didn't order a mower, I bought a floor model and set it aside to pick up later, which I did. The employee thanks me, apologizes for the confusion, and says he'll update the order. Failed. 1 week later they call again, saying the same thing, and I once again explain why it's not mine. They did this once a week for 3 weeks straight, and after the 3rd time I told the wife I swore if they called me again, I was going to pick up my mower. At this point, I'm just excited, I'm watching my phone, hoping they'll call, because in my mind, I've earned it at this point, and I want my free mower. Well, lo and behold, week 4 hits, and guess who calls? I am now ready to accept my free mower, but I'm also unsure how this is going to play out. I don't know if it's paid for, I don't have a receipt. It seems like a long shot. So I simply tell the employee, "I'm so sorry, I haven't been in yet to get it, but I got called out of town for work and just got back, and with that said, I have no idea where I put the receipt." The employee kindly replies, "Oh, no worries. It's paid in full, so all you need is a photo ID matching the name on the order." Perfect. I call the wife to let her know I'm picking up our new mower, and she just laughs, still positive that once I get there, they won't have a mower to give me. But you'll be happy to know I pull in, tell customer service I'm here for my mower, show them my ID, and next thing you know, some guy on a tow motor is loading a brand new, in the box, unassembled mower into the back of my truck and off I go. I still have that mower today. I thought about returning the original afterwards, but I just got nervous that it would somehow raise the alarms. Then I was going to sell it on Marketplace, but shortly after all this, I had bought a new house, and my best friend had put in a lot of hours helping me move, and he too had been looking for a new mower, so I just gave it to him instead as a thank you for helping me. I still ended up with a brand new mower for essentially 60% off and was also able to pay for movers with the original one, so it was still a win-win. I genuinely tried telling them it wasn't my mower, but they insisted it was, and it would be rude to refuse their offer. Our next story. Forced to do homework over and over until perfect? Trash. So, this was back in elementary school. My mom was insanely overbearing on school stuff, among other things, and would flip out over bad grades. Bad grades being an A, so I got a few dreaded B's in, like, 4th or 5th grade for the first time in my life. Mom was livid and started calling my teachers every day for them to tell her what my assignments were. As punishment for my grades, she would make me carry every single school book I had in my backpack to and from school every day, regardless of homework. This sucked because I had to walk to and from school, and it was a really hilly route. I had to sit at the kitchen table as soon as I got home and complete all of my homework. If I didn't have homework in some subjects, she would come up with something for me to do. I had to submit it to her for grading, and if I missed even one question or if my handwriting was too sloppy, she would rip up the assignment and make me do the entire thing over again. I'd be there for hours some days, no dinner until I finished it all. So, I'd go to school the next day with these perfect assignments all ready and turn them in to the dumpster. Not every single one, but usually just enough to make sure I still had a B. She lost her shit when she found out. It was awesome, and even now, In my 30s, I'm proud of that ballsy little dude. It took me until the junior year of high school to get her to give up on getting on my ass about grades, but when she finally gave up, it was all 3.9 or higher GPA through graduation. And our last story. Get your priorities straight. After my husband and I first bought a house, we got 2 adorable kittens, on whom we doted like children. When they were about a year old, we got the devastating news that one had a terminal illness. We were distraught. I have only witnessed my husband cry twice in the decades we've been together, and this is one of those times. As for me, I cried so much that my eyes wouldn't even open properly. Because we were both such wrecks and had to meet with a number of vets to talk over options, and because my eyes were still nearly swollen shut, we both took leave the next day. My work was understanding and compassionate about it. My husband's job, not so much. The boss angrily told my husband, "You need to get your priorities straight." My husband went from grieving to livid. So, after we came back from meeting with the vets, my husband called up someone he knew and talked himself into a better paying job with lots of flexibility. The day after that, he showed up at work, told his boss that he'd gotten his priorities straight, and handed in his 2-week notice. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.